Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a medical mystery that's, quite frankly, almost unbelievable. It's a story that absolutely challenges everything we think we know about human biology, suffering, and survival. We're going to explore the hidden secrets of individuals born entirely without the ability to feel physical pain. It's a wild journey, taking us from the very surface of the skin all the way down into the complex microscopic architecture of our DNA. Let's get right into it. I want you to imagine something for a second. Imagine living your entire life without ever feeling pain. Literally, never. No burning sensation when you touch something hot, no sharp warning when you injure yourself, and honestly, no way of knowing when something deep inside your own body is seriously wrong. For most of us, dealing with everyday aches and pains, I know that might sound like an absolute dream, but as we pull back the curtain on this rare condition, well, reality paints a very different and a much more terrifying picture. Part 1. A life without pain. Now, on the surface, moving through life without the capacity to feel physical pain sounds like a superpower, right? Like something straight out of a comic book. But the reality is that this condition, which is medically known as congenital insensitivity to pain, or CIP, is incredibly rare, and it's far, far from a gift. It's actually, in a lot of ways, a daily waking nightmare. Think about it. Without pain, the human body loses its most ancient, most critical defense mechanism. Just look at a normal biological reaction. You accidentally touch a hot stove, and boom, the reaction is instantaneous. Before you even have the conscious time to process what's happening, your hand just jerks away. You pull back. You're saved from severe tissue damage. Now imagine the reaction of someone living with CIP. They touch that exact same sizzling hot stove, but their hand just stays there, resting right against the metal. They are completely unaware that their flesh is actively burning. The physical threat is happening in real time, the cellular damage is severe, but the alarm bells, they just never ring. The body is literally under siege, and the brain has absolutely no clue. Section 2. The unseen dangers. So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, when your internal alarms fail to ring, danger becomes something you have to actively, obsessively search for. You and I, we take for granted that our bodies will just instinctively tell us when we're in trouble. Individuals with CIPs simply don't have that luxury. The constant vigilance required just to survive a normal, uneventful day is honestly staggering. Imagine having to stand in front of a bathroom mirror every single morning, pulling back your eyelids, carefully checking for microscopic scratches you might have accidentally given yourself while you slept. Or think about parents having to schedule meticulous head-to-toe body scans for their kids every evening, desperately searching for swollen joints, hidden infections, or even fractured bones that happened on the playground without a single tear being shed. Even something as simple as a comforting, warm cup of coffee is a hidden hazard. Someone with CIP literally has to use a thermometer to actively monitor their food and drink temperatures, just to avoid silently scalding their throat. Survival is no longer instinctual. It becomes this exhausting intellectual exercise. It's a life defined by extreme caution, where the absence of pain invites the constant, looming presence of danger. Part 3. How the body alarms. To truly wrap our heads around why this terrifying silence happens, we need to look beneath the surface. We're going to take a quick microscopic journey into the human nervous system to see how this alarm system is supposed to work for the rest of us. Okay, first, an injury occurs. Let's say it's a nasty paper cut or a harshly stubbed toe. Instantly, millions of specialized nerve endings embedded in your skin detect that sudden tissue damage. They immediately fire off a sharp electrical signal. That signal races up the microscopic nerve fibers, zipping right into your spinal cord and traveling at immense speed all the way up into your brain. The brain receives the signal, translates it, and in a fraction of a millisecond, ouch, you register pain. It's an incredibly fast, highly sophisticated, and honestly beautiful biological communication network that has evolved over millions of years just to keep you alive. Section 4. The SCN9A gene mutation. But what happens when that sophisticated communication network experiences a catastrophic failure? Well, this brings us to the microscopic culprit behind congenital insensitivity to pain. It all stems from a tiny, almost imperceptible glitch in the body's genetic code. We are talking about a specific gene known as SCN9A. If you think of your genes as the fundamental instruction manuals for your entire body, the SCN9A gene provides the exact, intricate instructions for building a very specific type of sodium channel in your nerve cells. This channel is basically the essential gateway that allows those electrical pain signals to fire and travel upward. For most of us, this gene works in perfect harmony, keeping our defensive pathways wide open. But in individuals with CIP, a mutation in this specific gene means the instruction manual has a microscopic misprint, just one little typo. And that single misprint cascades into a total system failure. It's kind of like a freshly cut alarm wire inside a highly secured building. Imagine a fire breaks out, meaning a physical injury is actively happening to the body. The sensor in the room accurately detects the rising heat. But because the SCN9A mutation has physically severed the connection wire between that sensor and the central alarm bell in your brain, the room just burns in complete silence. The brain remains perfectly quiet. Despite the devastating damage occurring right there at the site of the injury, the brain is entirely blind to the danger. The signal just has absolutely nowhere to go.
Part 5. Lessons from the laboratory.
Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Scientists and geneticists didn't just document this heartbreaking condition and move on. No, they realized that by studying these unique, resilient individuals who cannot feel pain, they could actually unlock some of the greatest secrets of human biology. By analyzing the DNA of people with CIP, researchers aren't just trying to find a cure for this incredibly rare condition. They're actually mapping out the entire hidden infrastructure of how pain perception works for every single human being on Earth. By understanding exactly how a mutated SCN9A gene stops pain dead in its tracks, scientists are gaining unprecedented insights into how they might develop revolutionary, non-addictive pain medications. So for the millions of people worldwide who suffer from a chronic pain epidemic, people who live in unrelenting agony, this genetic anomaly is a massive beacon of hope. The individuals who feel absolutely no pain are, quite literally, helping to heal the people who feel entirely too much of it. How incredible is that?
Part 6. The gift of pain. When we finally zoom out from the sterile microscopes, the complex DNA strands, and the quiet clinical labs, we're left with a deeply moving philosophical truth about our biology and our survival. Sometimes the things we wish we never felt are the very things that protect us. We spend so much of our waking lives trying to avoid pain, don't we? Trying to medicate it away, trying to run from it. We constantly curse our biology when we stub our toe, when we touch a hot stove, or when we endure a lingering ache. We view suffering as the enemy. But the profound story of those who live without it teaches us that this suffering is actually our greatest guardian. It's a harsh, immediate teacher that stands between us and the dangers of the world, ensuring we actually survive to see another day.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final thought. Pain is not just a sensation. It is one of the body's most important protective systems. And if our greatest suffering is also our greatest guardian, what else about our biology are we completely misunderstanding?